Hey guys, it is Christian here, and today I'm going to be doing my final 2022 Golden Globe predictions. Before I answer this, please like, subscribe, and tell me what did you think of these predictions. Tell me your own as well. Love to see them. With all that said, let's get started. Excuse me. So for best picture drama, I still have Belfast at number 1. It is the frontrunner. However, I am kind of getting frontrunner fatigue. Like maybe this doesn't have to win anymore. I think its main competitor, King Richard. I think King Richard can absolutely win here. It has everything it needs. It's a crowd pleaser. You have Will Smith winning here. I think it has everything it needs. However, the reason why it's not in my number 1 is because I don't have it getting nominated for screenplay or director. I mean, you look back, 1917 and The Revenant weren't nominated for screenplay, but they had the director nomination, and that's all that it needed. Sometimes for the ones that don't have director the picture winners usually always have director nominations. You need a director or a screenplay, or you need a director nomination and or screenplay. You don't need to have both. I think you could get a sole director nomination without a screenplay or one. But the reason why I don't have King Richard winning is because I don't have getting nominated for either. Nightmare Alley, I still think is happening. A lot of people are kind of dropping it on their predictions, but I think it's just bait that they're going to go for anyway. Dune is just, again, 2 contenders that, looking back on Black Panther and Mad Max, 2 spectacle movies. I think it's pretty safe here. And then Being the Ricardos is wrapping up our 5, even though that movie is like number 9 on my Oscar predictions. Well, that's because like 3 of my big contenders are in the comedy musical category. I still think it's pretty safe to get in here because it's Aaron Sorkin, it's about Lucille Ball, it's Nicole Kidman in it. They can nominate the hell out of that movie, and it wouldn't be bad. Other outside shots, Power of the Dog is an outside shot, but it doesn't really. It's not really as Golden Globe baity as something like a Being the Ricardos or Dune or Nightmare Alley or King Richard. And then House of Gucci. House of Gucci, I think, could maybe get in here. I mean, the audiences adored that movie. Like, they loved it. Even though the critics didn't really love it that much, the audiences still adored the movie. So yeah, I think House of Gucci gets not, and if I think House of Gucci could get nominated. And if it does get nominated, I might jump out of my chair, and I might, like, you don't even want to see me do it because I'll probably be screaming, and I probably will have to go back to hear the other nominees. I'm gonna turn into the Oscar expert junior. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. And then we have Coda and Come On, just because, but I don't really think the Golden Globes are going to touch those movies. So, yeah. Alright, Best Picture, Comedy, or Musical. Licorice Pizza, I think, is going to win this. It's giving me strong Once Upon a Time in Hollywood vibes, which also won. And it's the main frontrunner in this category, so, yeah. I think it's the main competitor to Belfast at the Oscars, even that and King Richard. But I think this is a little more competitor than King Richard because I have this getting screenplay and director. Unlike King Richard. Wait, no, I have King Richard getting screenplay at the Oscars. I just don't have getting screenplay here. And then West Side Story is just a big, giant duh. Like, they're just gonna... It's Spielberg, it's a musical. And I think it's literally a top contender at this point because the reviews are phenomenal for it. I'm gonna love it. I'm obviously gonna love it. Like, the reviews are outstanding. 97 on Rotten Tomatoes with, like, an 8.4 average rating, the last I checked. 85 on Metacritic. Those are very good reviews. People are even saying that it's better than the original. Some people, not all people. I don't think I'm going to be saying that, but, yeah. Just saying. And that's 100% happening. And then Don't Look Up's another giant duh. Like, Adam McKay, it's giant cast. You can nominate the hell out of that movie. And then you have Tick, Tick, Boom, which I think... Tick, Tick, Boom, I don't really think needs this. I think you can just nominate Garfield and everything would be fine, but it's going to get nominated here, and I'm not going to be upset by it, because it's a great movie, of course. And it's Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut, which is a giant deal. my perspective. And then In the Heights, how do you not nominate that? Like that just sounds so weird to me. Well, I mean, unless Ricardo's or Come On are like campaigning comedy, or maybe even Respect, but even if Respect and Come On, I think the actors would get nominated, but I just don't think the movies would squeeze in there. Ricardo's would definitely squeeze in there, though. And then The Outside Shot, French Dispatch, Wes Anderson, Moonrise Kingdom got a lone Golden Globe nomination, comedy musical. Really, they didn't get nominated for anything else. But I think the category was probably weak that year, and the category we just have such a solid 5 here that I really don't think Dispatch can squeeze its way in. So, yeah. And then we have Best Director. Kenneth Branagh is the front runner. He's probably going to win, even if Belfast doesn't win Best Picture. I still think he wins Director. Denis Villeneuve could maybe win. Like, if they wanted to give him the award, they could. But George Miller didn't win for Mad Max. So, yeah. And that's, like, the main reason why I'm not really predicting him to win. I would love to see him win. Like, quite frankly, I'd definitely love to see him win. But I just don't have it winning. And then, yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson, a duh. Like, giant duh. Like, they're just going to nominate Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, they don't really like him. Like, they didn't nominate him for There Will Be Blood. They didn't, them not nominating him for Phantom Thread, like, that was just a shock at the Oscars. People weren't expecting them to nominate Paul Thomas Anderson, but they did it anyways. Him not getting nominated for There Will Be Blood is kind of a thing, but I still think he gets in because it's his most successful movie to date. And Steven Spielberg is just a giant duh for West Side Story. Steven Spielberg, they love the guy. They'll nominate him. And then Guillermo del Toro is just another, like, big, like, baity pick that I think they're going to go with. I think this fight's pretty solid, honestly. With some outside shots. Adam McKay, I could see him getting nominated for this. They didn't nominate him for The Big Short, though, so I don't think they have to nominate him. And then we have Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. I think she's kind of slipping, because I think the movie's slipping. But she's not impossible. I'll just say that. Ridley Scott, House of Gucci, I am scared for this one because they nominated him for All the Money in the World. Yeah, that movie with Michelle Williams and Christopher Plummer. It's a movie that Christopher Plummer was nominated for in 2017. Yeah, that movie. He was nominated for it over Jordan Peele, over Greta Gerwig. Because they like Ridley Scott. Like, that's the thing, they like him. And then Reynaldo Marcus Green for King Richard. Don't really think this is happening in director. Just had to say that. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this category. Now we have Best Actress in a Drama. Kristen Stewart's like the front runner right now. I think she will probably win. Jessica Chastain, a lot of people think, oh no, the movie's losing steam. She's going to get snubbed. No. She's getting all the nominations she needs, and I think she'll get this nomination. And then the other lock here is Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. She's playing Lucille Ball, getting it nominated. That's all I have to say. And then Lady Gaga and House of Gucci, they're nominating her. Like, that's just a done deal. Even if the Oscars just don't decide to nominate her, the Globes will do it anyways because they love her. She has 2 Golden Globes. One of them is for song, obviously, for Star is Born, for Shallow. And then the other one she won for American Horror Stories in the TV categories, which we're not going over TV. This is only movies. They love Gaga. I think they're going to nominate her again. And Jennifer Hudson in Respect. This is not I don't think she's 100% locked in this category. I think she'd be more locked in if the movie was campaigning comedy or musical, but I don't think it will be, so we're sticking her in here for now. But her playing Aretha Franklin has always been extremely baity to me. Like, even if I don't have her getting nominated at the Oscars, I still think she'll probably get nominated here. And also, she could maybe be like Andra Day and Cynthia Erivo. Where at first we're not really sure if they're going to get nominated, but then they start getting all the nominations they need, and then boom, they show up at the Golden Globes. No, Andra Day just came out of nowhere, though. Like, that just came out of nowhere. The Andra Day nomination. Cynthia Erivo didn't really come out of nowhere because she got nominated at Critics' Choice. But, yeah. Olivia Colman in Lost Daughters, and then the Outside Shots. Olivia Colman in Lost Daughters, a hard one to count out. They love Olivia Colman. She has 2 Golden Globe. Wait, no, she has 3. 2 for television. One of them's for supporting actress for The Night Manager. The other one, television series drama actress for The Crown. And then she won for The Favorite. And then her other 2 nominations are for The Father and another one for The Crown. Olivia Colman can absolutely get nominated for here. I definitely think that, but but it's really hard for me to take out the Aretha Franklin performance. And then we have Penelope Cruz in Parallel Mothers, another one that could maybe happen, just don't have it happening. It's Frances McDormand and For Tragedy in Beth, just not happening. No. Absolutely not. So that's all I have to say about this category. And then we have Best Actor in a Drama. Will Smith is winning. Done deal. Period. No one else is going to compete with him. Easiest acting category. All I have to say. Benedict Cumberbatch, I think he's in there. I think he is a lock. I don't have a lot of people have Power of the Dog like number 1 and 2 in every category. I'm not like that, but one of the ones I do have it at number 1 and 2 for, here and at the Oscars, is Best Actor for Power of the Dog, for Benedict Cumberbatch. Denzel, I think Denzel is also happening for Tragedy in Beth. He could get snubbed. I could see him being like the Robert De Niro of this year, because they snubbed him for The Irishman. No, but first he was starting to get all the weird critic snubs. If the same thing happens with Denzel, he starts getting critic snubs, and then boom, they just snub him. That'd be a little weird, though, because they nominated him for Roman J. Israel Esquire. It'd be weird not to nominate him for this, And then Bradley Cooper and Nightmare Alley. I don't have this one getting the Oscar nomination anymore. But I still think he gets in here. Still think he gets in here, especially because, 3 of the big actor contenders are in the comedy musical category. So it makes it easier for him to squeeze in there. And then Javier Bardem, we have not wrapping up this 5. I don't think he's going to get the Oscar nomination, at all, but I still think he gets nominated here. Here for a movie that I think they're going to enjoy. And then we have, for the Outside Shots, Adam Driver for House of Gucci, just in case they love that movie and they want to nominate him. I guess they could do that. And then Joaquin Phoenix and Come On, just because. I think if he was in the comedy musical category, which he still could be, but he would have an easier time getting nominated compared to in the drama category, where I don't think he'll get nominated. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this category. Now let's move on to the comedy musical categories for the acting. Okay, Best Actor in a Comedy Musical. Andrew Garfield, I think he's going to win for Tick, Tick, Boom. It was an amazing performance. I loved that performance. His performance is kind of giving me Taron Egerton vibes. It used to, when I had him not getting nominated, but because Cooper, I think, is going to be slipping, they're going to nominate Andrew Garfield, because the category is kind of, the category's not really weak. It's actually kind of competitive, but yeah. I don't want to ramble. I don't want to keep rambling. And then Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up, that's just a gimme. Peter Dinklage and Cyrano is just a gimme. Those 2 are definitely happening at the Golden Globes. And then Anthony Ramos and In the Heights. This category is actually kind of weak, so I think he gets in here. And it was a good performance, too. Nothing groundbreaking, but still good. And then Cooper Hoffman wrapping up this top 5 for Licorice Pizza. He could be the big breakthrough performance that gets in. They do nominate breakthrough performances, so yeah. Also, this category is so weak that we can squeeze him in there. However, I do have 2 Outside Shots, though. First one might sound crazy, but Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy. He was funny in the movie. I could, weirdly see them doing that. That'd be very weird, though. They're not going to do that. And then Ansel Elgort in West Side Story. If they love the movie, they could nominate him. But because of the accusations, if they did nominate him, the Golden Globes would be canceled. So they cannot nominate him if they don't want to be canceled. So, yeah. That's all I have to say about this one. And then we have Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical. Alana Haim, I think, is going to win for Licorice Pizza. I think she will probably win. However, I think Rachel for Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza, if you didn't know. I think she'll probably win, but I think Rachel Zegler is a threat. She literally won Best Actress at the National Board of Review. Or at least I think that's what it's called, right? Like, I think she might be a competitor. If she does win, she might as well get the Oscar nomination. No, I don't have either of these getting the Oscar nomination, though. The 5 I have getting the Oscar nomination are my top 4 plus Coleman in the drama category. So, yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is just a gimme for Don't Look Up. Emma Stone Cruella. This category is very weak. I think she'll probably get in. And then because the category is so weak, we can sneeze in Renate Reinsve for The Worst Person in the World. Unless they want to nominate Melissa Barrera for In the Heights, which they could do. She wasn't my favorite, female performance in the movie, though. That would be Leslie Grace, and then Olga Meredith would probably be the second best out of the female performances from the movie. I'd probably say Leslie Grace gave the best performance in the movie, period, but yeah. They could nominate Barrera if they like In the Heights. So, yeah. Now we have made it to the supporting categories. They don't split these categories up, by the way. They're just one big category. I mean, they don't split them up into comedy musical. They're just one big category. We're going to start off with Best Supporting Actress. Katrina Balfe is still the frontrunner for Belfast. I think she'll probably win. She was good in the movie, so I wouldn't be upset by it. However, I think there are 2 threats. Who could win? Ariana DeBose in West Side Story. After the reactions came out, I just don't see how she gets snubbed. I think she is a definite contender. Or lock. People say she's like the standout in the movie. I think people were taking her out because they didn't know people were starting to take her out of their list, but then the reactions came out and they said she was the best performance. Boom, she's back on. She's my number 2. I think she could maybe win. And I actually wouldn't really mind seeing her win. Because she's probably going to be outstanding in the movie. Also, the soundtrack came out for it today, so... And if you listen to the new version of A Boy Like That, it just sums up all the reasons why she should be getting nominated. I really cannot wait to see this movie. It's going to be amazing. And then our second big competitor for the win, or a third, is Aunjanue Ellis in King Richard. Another solidified contender, in my opinion, for King Richard, because they're gonna like as the categories because I think I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Because she's great in the movie, she has 1 Oscar scene. I think she gets in there for King Richard, or in the movie's a big contender. Now, supporting actress is probably the most competitive acting category. Maybe the most competitive category in general. I would say the 3 locks here are Balfe, DeBose, and Ellis, and then everyone else is just kind of snubbable. I still think Cate Blanchett gets in for Nightmare Alley, because her performance is the most praised out of the reactions that we've heard. Or her performance is the most praised. I still think she gets nominated. And she's Cate Blanchett, so yeah. And then I'm putting Meryl Streep on for Don't Look Up. She's playing the president. And the Golden Globes like Meryl Streep. Well, they didn't nominate her for The Prom. They don't really have an excuse for not doing that. Yet they nominated freaking James Corden. Oh my god. But I still think she gets in here, though. Oh, but it's not an 100% lock. I don't think anyone above the top 3, I don't think is on 100%. Well, basically the top 4, but I would say top 3 because maybe Blanchett gets snubbed. I don't know. But Streep's a big name, and she's playing the president, and maybe she's good in it, so why not nominate her, huh? Kirsten Dunst for The Power of the Dog. I don't really see them. The category is very crowded, so I just don't see them doing it anymore. However, she could get nominated. Rita Moreno for West Side Story. She's another standout from people, from the reactions I heard and from the reviews. She's another standout. She could get nominated for this movie again. and it could happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it could absolutely happen for sure. And then we have Judi Dench in Belfast. Like, if they wanted to throw in a weirdo celebrity nomination, they could go with Judi Dench. And then we have Ann Dowd in Mass. Push, 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 down. I think she was in my top 5 the last time we did these, actually. How come she dropped? Because the category is too freaking crowded. And I think because the category's crowded, I think Mass is kind of slipping as a contender. I think Mass just gets shut out at the Golden Globes. And not only at the Golden Globes, I think it gets shut out at the Oscars, too. Because the movie's kind of being forgotten. And then we have Ruth Negga in Passing. She was nominated for Loving. And she could get nominated here, but I currently don't have her getting nominated here. And also, Passing is really indie. I don't think they're going to touch that movie at all. And then we have Marlee Matlin in Coda. I actually have her getting the Oscar nomination. But I don't have her getting it here because the movie's indie. They don't really like indies that much. I don't think they're going to like this movie. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this category. Now, Best Supporting Actor is like the complete opposite of Supporting Actress. Instead of being super competitive, this category is actually kind of weak. Because there's like a bunch of snubbable picks here. I think Ciarán Hinds gets in for Belfast. I think that happens. Because he's like the big like frontrunner, I think. And if you nominate Ciarán Hinds, I think you gotta nominate Jamie Dornan for Belfast as well. Those are like the 2 locks. The other lock is Jared Leto for House of Gucci. I think he gets in. Then he gets in. Also, if you can nominate him for The Little Things, like, why can't you nominate him for this? And also, it's a big transformative performance. And then Jon Bernthal. I think he's been rising up on my list a little bit. And I have him on here because if they like King Richard, they can nominate Jon Bernthal. And he was pretty good in the movie, so I wouldn't mind. And then J.K. Simmons and Being the Ricardos. If they like the movie, they can nominate him. And I like J.K. Simmons. He's great. And he'll probably be good in the movie. Richard Jenkins and Nightmare Alley. I had a feeling this would get nominated, but the reviews aren't really talking about him that much. I'm a little shocked. Same thing with David Alvarez for West Side Story. They're not really talking about him that much. I think he was in my top 3 the last time we did this, but he's not on my list anymore because the reviews just aren't really talking about him. He might not be a real thing after all. He could still get nominated, but I'm not sure if he will. Mike Feist in West Side Story. People are actually talking about him more, but I think his role is less baity than Alvarez because Alvarez's role literally won the Oscar. And Feist, Russ Hamlet wasn't even nominated. He should have been nominated. But yeah. And then Jason Isaacs in Mass. I think he was in my 5 last time we did these. Not anymore because Mass is slipping. They're gonna shut out Mass. Like they're just going to do it. It's sad, but I think it's the reality that we're gonna see. Bradley Cooper and Licorice Pizza. If they wanted to nominate him just for being Bradley Cooper, I guess. But are you really gonna nominate someone for having 8 minutes of screen time? That's stupid. No. Robin D. Jesus for Tick Tick Boom. He's good. He's great in the movie. And he could maybe get the Oscar nomination, but I'm not sure if he'll get in here. Maybe. Cody Smith McPhee in The Power of the Dog. Could happen. Don't think so. Troy Kotsur in Coda. He's amazing in Coda. Coda, I don't think is an amazing movie, but he's terrific in it. Definitely the best part about that movie. But I just don't see them going near that movie, and I think he suffers from it. Same thing with Woody Norman. He's phenomenal. Come On, Come On. Like, Come On, Come On is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. But I just don't think they're going to go near that movie, so I don't have him getting nominated. So that's pretty much everything for the supporting categories. We have entered the best screenplays. They don't have them divided in original and adapted. They're just one big category. Licorice Pizza, I think, is overtaking the Belfast as the front runner in the screenplay. Even if Belfast still wins picture and director, I still think Paul Thomas Anderson is gonna get his due and he's gonna win. And speaking of Belfast, Belfast is obviously getting nominated here. And two other movies that are definitely getting nominated here. Don't Look Up. If you tell me that movie's not getting nominated for screenplay, you have to go to hell. Because how do you not nominate that for screenplay? Like, oh my god, how do you not nominate that? It's like the most baitiest thing for screenplay ever. Well, maybe not the baitiest. The baitiest is Being the Ricardos, which is by the one and only GOAT, Aaron Sorkin. We have two GOATs this year. We have Spielberg and Sorkin added again. So yeah. And then Nightmare Alley, just because I have Nightmare Alley basically being the same thing as Mank, getting the same nominations as Mank did at the Golden Globes. And Mank got screenplay at the Golden Globes, even though I wasn't nominated at the Oscars, so I'm gonna keep it. I don't have a getting screenplay nomination at the Oscars, though. And then King Richard, like, if they want to give that the award for Best Picture Drama, I think you had to nominate it in screenplay. Power of the Dog, could happen. Maybe not, though. And then West Side Story, that could happen. If they love the movie, they could absolutely nominate Tony Kushner, but I'm not sure they're going to do that, so yeah. Now we have the Best Animated Feature. I think Encanto's the frontrunner. I think that's probably going to win. And I think it's the solidified frontrunner, actually. Well, maybe not solidified, but I think it's the declared frontrunner. Luca's also obviously getting nominated. Pixar. What else? Mitchell vs. Machines, obviously getting nominated. And then Flea. I think Flea's a little bit snubbable here, because it's a documentary and it's a foreign film. Well, I mean, no, the more so that's a documentary. And also, the Golden Globes really like mainstream movies. Well, they'll nominate indies once in a while, but they really like mainstream movies. When you have Encanto, which is Disney, Luca, Pixar, Mitchell's Netflix, and Flea, which is just a little indie. It's the indie frontrunner, though, so we're going to stick with it. And then we have Raya and the Last Dragon. I think this could maybe get snubbed, but I'll keep it. I'll still have it getting nominated. At the Golden Globes, at least. They don't have it getting the Oscar nomination. Sing 2 is one I'm kind of, like, thinking it could happen. The first thing got nominated. Remember that, guys? The first thing got nominated. And also, this one has kind of better reviews than the first, I think. People actually like the movie, so I wouldn't be shocked if they nominate the sequel. Vivo, Lin-Manuel Miranda, but it's a musical, but I'm not sure. And then Belle's one I have getting the Oscar nomination, but don't have it getting the Golden Globe because it's too indie. So yeah. Now we're on to the two music categories, and we're going to start off with original song. Be a Life from King Richard. I think this is going to win. It's Beyonce. It's an incredible song. I think it should win, and I think it probably will. No Time to Die will probably get nominated, and it could win, because it's a Bond song. Those are big, right? Dos Oruguitos for Encanto. I totally mispronounced that name. I apologize, but it's the Encanto song that they're campaigning, so I think it's going to get nominated. Just Look Up from Don't Look Up. Duh, it's Ariana Grande, and it's Don't Look Up. And then your song Save My Life from Sing 2. You might think this is such a weird pick, and it absolutely is kind of weird, but when you think about it, it's not really weird at all, because this song is by the Irish band U2. And one of the members from U2, Bono, is doing a voice in the movie, Clay Calloway. The reason why I have them, is you might be like, why does it being by U2 have any relevance? This band has five Golden Globe nominations, which includes 2 wins. So they obviously love this band, and I think they're going to want to nominate the people that they like to nominate. So I think they're going to go with U2. That's, like, the main reason. Like, at first, if you told me it was U2, I might not think it's going to get nominated. But if I go on the Golden Globe website and look at how many nominations and wins they have, it really makes sense, I think, to have that on. But if you don't have that on, it's fine. And then Down to Joy for Belfast, the Belfast song. All I have to say. And then Here I Am from Respect, Jennifer Hudson. All I have to say. Original score. Dune is winning. If you disagree, you have to go to hell. Easily the best score of the year. And it's the obvious frontrunner to win. Nightmare Alley, I think, is also obviously getting nominated. The Power of the Dog, same thing, I also think is going to get nominated. Also, I just noticed, well, I actually didn't just notice this. I have Power of the Dog getting the same nominations that Phantom Thread got, with actor in a drama and score. Just wanted to point that out. And then we have Spencer, which is Johnny Greenwood's second score, Spurs being Power of the Dog. And then we have The French Dispatch, which is by Alexandre Desplat. They like to nominate him more than the Oscars do. They nominated him for The Midnight Sky, even when the Oscars didn't. So, and also, it's a movie that would be a little weird that they would shut out The French Dispatch, but they could do it. I'm not sure, though. And then this is the one that I think could be, like, the weird score nominee. It's Being the Ricardos, which is by Daniel Pemberton, who they love. However, they didn't nominate him for The Trial of the Chicago 7, so they don't always have to nominate him. It's basically the message I got. And then Don't Look Up. Could happen. I think I have it getting nominated at the Oscars. Don't have it getting nominated here. That's all I have to say. Then we have our final category, Best Foreign Language Film. Worst person in the world, I think, is the frontrunner here. I think it's going to win. A Hero is Oscar Ferrati. Probably going to get nominated. Hand of God is, like, a big, like, contender here. Parallel Mothers was not submitted at the Oscars, but they don't have to nominate stuff that wasn't submitted at the Oscars. But they don't have to nominate stuff that wasn't submitted, but they're still allowed to nominate stuff that the Oscars didn't submit. That's what I was trying to say. And Parallel Mothers is Almodovar. It's Penelope Cruz. I think it's kind of going to get on the Golden Globes. And then we have Titan. Titan's, like, kind of snubbable. It's very weird. I haven't seen the movie myself, but I watched, like, a trailer for it. It was the Green Man trailer, not the Red Man trailer. Not the Red Band trailer, I swear. And there's this weird scene where the character's doing something to the car. Don't want to say what it is because we're gonna get in trouble, and this video is gonna have to be age restricted. So we're not gonna talk about what she did to the car, but she did something to the car. And then and speaking of car, we have Drive My Car, which could happen. So yeah. So those are my Golden Globe nominations. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.